What is Yoga Nidra? Well, by the end of this training, you're not only going to know what it is, but how it can enhance your life in ways that you possibly never even imagined. If you don't know me, I'm Allie, and when I first started practicing yoga at the beginning of university, it changed my life for the better in many, many ways, but I had never heard about Yoga Nidra before. And when I found Yoga Nidra towards the end of university, it took those sort of fleeting glimpses of peace that I had found in my yoga practice and infused them more fully into my life, not just on my yoga mat during a yoga class. I could really find a sense of peace in those yoga classes, and it came into my life quite a bit, but it was sort of this fragile peace that could easily be disturbed by outside circumstances, especially those situations in my life that felt difficult or felt like I was triggered in some way or another. And when I came more fully into the practice of Yoga Nidra, it was during a time in my life that was very, very chaotic. There was a lot of loss. There was a lot of trauma that were happening simultaneously. And I also come from a background of experiencing anxiety disorders, panic attacks, insomnia from about the age of 11, when I had a terrible experience with a house fire. And then those panic attacks and anxiety problems really carried into my teenage years and into young adulthood and kind of got worse with time. And yoga had begun to shift that for me, which was great. But when I became dedicated to a Yoga Nidra practice, I was able to move from that new taste of peace that I had found in my yoga practice. I was able to move from that more fragile type of peace to discovering a more unshakable equilibrium within myself of sort of the eye of the storm, if you will, this unshakable peace that was always in the background of my experience through all circumstances, in all situations, no matter how challenging or unexpected, which was really new for me. I felt really out of control in my nervous system a lot of the time, and I had sort of begun to develop this sense of peace that remained with me without fail. And I was experiencing actually some of the most difficult circumstances of my entire life, including some major losses to cancer of some of the closest family members in my life. So without going too much into the details of my own story, this practice has been completely life-changing for me, which is one of the reasons that I love to share it so much and share these tools as often as I can. So in this training that I'm talking about, I'm going to lead you through, we're going to look at all the ways that Yoga Nidra can enhance emotional resiliency. We're going to look at Yoga Nidra, how it can provide the most comprehensive meditation practice that I've ever found, and how working with Yoga Nidra with a full understanding of the practice is the key to grow as individuals. It empowers us to grow as individuals and ultimately can lead towards spiritual awakening, which is what Yoga Nidra is sort of, it's a synonym for that state of yoga or of peace as well. We'll also sense how Yoga Nidra empowers us in the world and in our lives and in our relationships with ourselves and with others, and how it is one of the greatest tools that we have for rewiring our brain and creating new neural pathways, and how we can choose our belief patterns and choose beliefs strategically, actually, to enhance our well-being and our impact on the world around us. And that's really key to work individually with yourself in order to create a better world for all beings. And we'll look at the layers of the self: body, energy, mind, wisdom, spirit, and how this modality of Yoga Nidra is truly a full yogic system in and of itself, which is very cool. We'll dive deep into the different types of sankalpa and the inner refuge and the most recent scientific findings on Yoga Nidra and how to create congruent brain state with sound meditation that enhances Yoga Nidra instead of distracting from it. All of these types of things. So one of the most exciting things about the training is that through this training you will be deepening your own practice, and as your practice becomes more enriched from that more deeper and complete embodiment of the practice, you will be able to touch more of your students through transmission and really bring a sense of peace to your students in an authentic and meaningful way. We will look at creating unique and individualized scripts instead of what many Yoga Nidra trainings do, which is hand you over a bunch of scripts and then you read off words that aren't necessarily true to you or your own embodiment of the practice. There's so much more that I'd love to tell you about this training, but if you've watched this far, then you're interested enough to head to the information page. I'll link it below, where you can find all of the details, all sorts of details, including dozens and dozens of reflections from students and an information package that is very detailed, and also the details on how to apply. One of the most meaningful things that I have done so far in my life is take this Yoga Nidra training online. It's amazing the people who are coming into the training from all around the world, and our community of teachers from all over the planet is growing all of the time. And my heart actually just soars and like skips a beat when I think about all of the people who are positively impacted through the graduates that are taking these teachings out into the world. They're sharing their reflections from their students, and it's absolutely beautiful, the shifts that are taking place for people in their own lives, but also who they're able to touch with the guidance and with these teachings. So please take a moment to check it out. If you have any questions at all, you can comment below or contact me through my website. And if you're feeling the call to go deeper into this practice with me, then I can't wait to look at your application. So thank you and have a beautiful day.